If you think you've experienced the height of love, passion, or your emotional strength, I need to tell you something that no one has the courage to tell. The best may yet be to come. Most men after 50 have been convinced to believe that the time is now for loss of vigor, of romance, of connection. But what if I told you that this is the biggest lie you've ever been told? What few know, and even fewer live, is that there is a wisdom reserved only for those who cross the line of youth and enter maturity with courage. A wisdom capable of rekindling romance, strengthening your self-esteem, creating a new vibrant sexuality, and above all, making you feel more alive and more needed than ever. It doesn't matter if today you feel that you have lost your luster, or if hormonal changes have started to knock on the door. There is a way, practical, real, to regain not only your confidence, but also to create deeper, more pleasurable relationships than any young person could ever experience. And today, I will reveal to you the principles that wise men know, but few teach, to turn your next few years into the happiest and fullest of your life. Get ready, because some truths here may bother you, but they can also liberate. As the age of 50 goes by, many people discover that the true spice of a mature relationship is not only physical attraction, but that emotional connection that welcomes and transforms. Relationships in maturity flourish when emotional intimacy is cared for, like a secret garden, with affection and simple gestures. It's not about great deeds, but about looking into the eyes and really listening. At this stage, spontaneity in the relationship turns to pure gold, and between us, a sincere touch is worth more than any expensive gift. If someone wants to build a lasting romance after 50, they need to understand that talking with an open heart is as exciting or more exciting than a stolen kiss. Open and patient communication becomes the pillar of trust and security. That moment when two bodies rest side by side and two hearts connect in silence. This is a gift that only maturity is able to offer. Strengthening this connection requires small daily choices, such as brewing tea for each other, or holding hands during a leisurely walk in the park. Simple examples? How about leaving a tender note on the breakfast table? Or schedule a walk hand in hand at sunset? Small attitudes that feed physical and mental health and make the soul smile. This type of bond not only warms the heart, but becomes the solid foundation to face together all the hormonal changes, the transition phases, and the new forms of intimacy that arise over time. And that's where the magic really begins, especially when we talk about the importance of open and honest communication. When a couple reaches maturity, they understand that open communication is like a rare wine. The more cultivated it is, the tastier it becomes. Relationships in maturity need this genuine exchange, without fear of exposing vulnerabilities. Talking about feelings, expectations, and even insecurities is what shapes true, emotional intimacy. And guess what? This type of talk is the cement that builds the trust and security that we all seek. Without it, the emotional connection simply crumbles over time. It's not about having a formal meeting every week, see? Sometimes it is enough to sit on the porch with a hot coffee, or lie in bed and ask sincerely, "How did you feel today?" These moments create spontaneity in the relationship, make lasting romance blossom, and reinforce companionship in an almost magical way. Open communication is like a natural remedy to strengthen physical and mental health, because talking takes weight off the soul and calms the heart. A practical tip: make a habit of doing what I call an emotional round. Once a week, each one shares a victory and a difficulty of the week, without judgment. It is in this type of conversation that you can perceive the small hormonal changes, the hidden fears, and also the simple joys. And speaking of joys, it's amazing to realize how spontaneity and affection can renew the energy of a relationship. Even more so when you know the importance of keeping the flame burning with unexpected gestures. Right? Ah, spontaneity. That spice that keeps the soul young and the heart beating faster, even after 50. Relationships in maturity do not have to be synonymous with predictable routine. Quite the contrary. An unexpected gesture such as sending a loving message in the middle of the day or preparing your loved one's favorite dish can rekindle that sparkle in your eyes. Spontaneity in the relationship is what turns the ordinary day into something memorable. And who said that lasting romance doesn't need some good surprises? Want to see how easy it is? How about planning a surprise picnic in the park with wine, fruit, and lots of laughter? Or even leave a note hidden in your jacket pocket just to provoke that silly smile. These small gestures of affection and simple gestures not only nourish emotional connection but also strengthen physical and mental health, because laughing together is one of the best natural remedies out there. Spontaneity, at this moment of life, is one of the greatest proofs of love. And look how interesting. Keeping the flame burning with creative gestures also helps to lightly cross the hormonal changes that arise in this phase. A day is a ride without a destination. The next, a candlelit dinner at home, slippers and all. The important thing is that there is patience and respect to cultivate the freedom to be who you are, without fear of judgment. And since we're talking about taking care of lightness, nothing more natural than also taking care of your physical and emotional health, right? At any stage of life, but especially in mature relationships, taking care of physical and mental health is not a luxury. It is a basic need. It's impossible to build solid emotional intimacy if the body and mind are crying out for help. Practicing light exercises, such as walking outdoors, Pilates or swimming, not only strengthens the physique but also feeds male self-esteem. And if you want to boost it even more, bet on natural foods and a good sleep routine. It sounds simple, but it works miracles. Just imagine a couple who decide to walk together every morning, celebrating small daily achievements and taking care of each other. This practice not only generates more energy and disposition, but also promotes moments of companionship and open communication. Relationships that integrate physical and emotional health realize that even spontaneity in the relationship intensifies, not to mention that the lasting romance is strengthened because both feel good, beautiful, and alive to each other. And for those who think that taking care of their health is something for obsessed people, know that small gestures are enough. Drinking at least 2 liters of water, 2,000 milliliters, a day, consuming fresh food, and including 30 minutes of light physical activity already transform everything. This attention to one's own well-being also reflects in the way we deal with hormonal changes and how we live a new sexuality. And speaking of hormonal changes, it is essential to understand and respect what the partner is experiencing, right? Over the years, a woman's body goes through true silent revolutions, and understanding this is an act of mature love. Mature relationships that thrive are those in which there is patience and respect in the face of the partner's hormonal and emotional changes. It's not just about tolerating, but about walking together, hand in hand, with empathy and emotional connection. Those who realize this build a lasting romance where affection and simple gestures make all the difference. Do you know that day when she is more sensitive? Or that other one where she seems more reserved? No judging or demanding. Physical and mental health also manifests itself like this, in silences and subtle reactions. An attentive partner understands that spontaneity in the relationship also involves giving space, listening without interrupting, and offering a hug without demanding words. This is true companionship, that of those who know that sometimes the best open communication is welcoming silence. A practical attitude that can further strengthen this connection is to suggest reading books such as Women Who Run with the Wolves or The Woman's Body, The Wisdom of Women. This type of gesture shows not only interest, but also confidence and security to go through the transformations of time. And look, understanding these changes is the gateway to valuing romance in an even more special way, which is what we are going to delve into now. Romance has no expiration date, and in relationships in maturity, it becomes even more precious, like a treasure cut over the years. Valuing romance is understanding that emotional intimacy, affection, and simple gestures are the basis that keeps the fire burning. And we're not just talking about flowers on birthdays, see? Small surprises, sweet words in everyday life, and that spontaneity in the relationship make all the difference. It is what renews the lasting romance even after decades. Want a practical tip? Plan a special dinner at home with a playlist that marked your history. Or suddenly, a weekend getaway to a charming inn, away from the routine. Valuing romance also involves the emotional connection built in open conversations and the companionship of sharing dreams, even if they are simple. All of this contributes to keeping physical and mental health high. After all, those who love take care of themselves and take care of themselves, right? And the more this care is cultivated, the more naturally it transforms into new ways of living, the new sexuality that maturity provides. A phase where it is not only the body that speaks, but where the soul also dances. And if the soul dances, well, intimacy only tends to become even richer and deeper, as we will discover later. To reach maturity is to discover that true intimacy goes far beyond instant passion. It's about emotional connection, mental surrender, and that silent complicity that only time builds. Relationships in maturity that adapt to new forms of intimacy are those that celebrate affectionate touch, long hugging, and soul-to-soul conversation. It's no longer about quantity, but about quality. And here, spontaneity in the relationship is a daily gift. Those who learn to value these new forms realize that the new sexuality is made up of moments of full presence. A walk holding hands, a coffee shared in silence, or even a note left on the cushion become profound expressions of love. The lasting novel is born from this ability to read the other without haste, respecting the rhythms of the body and soul. And male self-esteem, when nourished by affection and simple gestures, is strengthened even more. A practical tip for those who want to immerse themselves in this universe is to try new activities together. Ballroom dancing classes, yoga for couples, or guided meditation for emotional connection. These practices not only strengthen companionship, but also help with physical and mental health, which is essential to enjoy each stage of this rediscovery. And speaking of rediscovering, there's something even more powerful that happens just after the most special, intimate moments. Many people think that the apex of intimacy is the moment itself, but the real magic happens later, in the post-sex period, where the affective bond is reinforced in a deep and silent way. Relationships in maturity understand that affection and simple gestures after love are as important as the act itself. A long hug, an exchange of glances, or simply holding hands strengthens the emotional connection like few things in the world. This creates a spontaneity in the relationship that only grows over time. Post-sex is that sacred moment in which trust and security are intertwined with the lightness of pleasure experienced as a couple. Those who invest in this moment are, without realizing it, taking care of the couple's physical and mental health. The new sexuality in this phase values what is real, genuine, and affectionate. It's not about performance, it's about presence. And you know what's more beautiful? These quiet moments also help soften the impact of hormonal changes, promoting powerful emotional well-being. An easy example to apply. After the intimate moments, instead of each one picking up their cell phone or turning to the side, how about spending a few minutes together, in silence, or exchanging sweet words? This type of gesture reinforces companionship, strengthens male self-esteem, and nurtures the lasting romance that has been built with so much care. And of course, if it is already possible to feel the power of this post-moment, imagine the impact of taking this awareness to all areas of life as a couple. Now tell me, after everything you've discovered here today, are you really going to let time dictate the pace of your love and emotional life? Or will you choose to use that wisdom to live with more joy, presence, and fullness? The decision is yours. But I challenge you, if you felt that these truths opened your eyes, type here in the comments, "I am wise, element." Now, if you are still in doubt, if you think it is too late, write, "I need to wake up, element." That way, I'll know who's really ready to transform their own story and who still needs a little extra push. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and come be part of this community of men who have decided to live the best phase of their lives with awareness, strength, and passion. We still have a lot of important things to talk about, and your growth journey is just beginning.